Anyone that's already on, we're just waiting for the room to populate and to get everyone in. We'll start shortly. We'll go ahead and get started. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are joining us from around the world. My name is Jamie Smith, and I serve as the Interim Vice Provost for Graduate Education here at UC Irvine. It is such a pleasure to welcome you to today's Graduate Division Town Hall. So, first and foremost, huge congratulations. Really, being admitted to graduate school is an incredible achievement, and you should be super proud of your hard work and the dedication that has brought you here. To those of you that have already committed to UCI, welcome to the Anteater family. And for those of you still making your decision, we're hoping today's conversation can give you a clear sense of why UC Irvine could be the right place for your next chapter. At UCI, we are very much deeply committed to your success, and that is not only as scholars and researchers, but also as future leaders in your fields and of you holistically. As one of the really the top public universities in the nation, our graduate programs are designed to help challenge, support, and empower you from world-class faculty and cutting-edge research opportunities to robust professional development resources and comprehensive student support services. Absolutely everything that we do here is on helping you thrive both during your time here, but also well beyond it. We also want to recognize that transition to graduate school, it's a big step. And that's why we've built a strong and supportive community, one that prioritizes your academic success, your well-being, and your sense of belonging. And so whether it's access to health and wellness services, guaranteed housing for doctoral students, or opportunities to just build meaningful connections across campus, I think you'll find that UC Irvine is a place where you can truly grow. So today's session is really partnered with you in mind. We've brought together an absolutely outstanding panel of my colleagues and campus partners who are here to answer your questions and to help you better understand the resources that are available to you, from housing and health services to professional development and campus life. So, as we move into introductions, please feel free to drop any of your questions into the chat at any time. There should be, if you are not seeing it, there should be a Q&A down at the bottom. If you're not seeing it immediately, click on more and you'll find the Q&A button to click. Drop any questions in. A number of us will be monitoring those questions and answering those. You can ask us anything. Um, and before we begin, I also want to highlight two other upcoming opportunities to hear directly from some of our current graduate students during our student-led panels, and that is tomorrow at April 8th at 8 a.m. Pacific time, and Thursday, April 9th at 3 p.m. Pacific time. And those sessions will offer some valuable firsthand perspectives of life at UC Irvine, and I want to strongly encourage you to attend. Now, it is absolutely my great pleasure to introduce our panel of colleagues who will each share a little bit about their areas and how they help support your journey. I just want to say that I have been here at UC Irvine myself for 19 years, and I feel so incredibly lucky to work with such an amazing set of professionals that are care deeply about the student experience in all aspects of your journey and are here to support you and to help answer questions in any way they can. So let me first introduce Ruth Quinnen, who is the Assistant Dean for Graduate Academic and Student Affairs. Marcel Hayashida, Associate Vice Chancellor for Wellness, Health, and Counseling. Jennifer Nelson Martinez, Senior Director for Graduate and Family Housing. Karen Friedlander, Director of the Graduate and Postdoctoral Resource Center, and Archana Sheth, Associate Director of the International Center. So I am so happy to have each of them here. We're going to open this up, but I'm going to invite each of them one at a time to kind of talk about their areas and how they help support your graduate journey. Again, f feel free to drop questions into the chat. We will also open up for questions later as well. So, Ruth, I'm going to call on you to go first.
Okay, welcome everybody. We're very glad you're here and congratulations. As Jamie said, for those of you that haven't made a decision yet, we hope you choose UCI. And for those who have indicated you are coming, we're delighted to have you and look forward to you being here in the fall. I oversee basically the student facing things in graduate division. So, admissions and recruitment, retention, student counseling. I'm work with the housing office for housing issues for students, professional development. So, a wide range of things. I also meet with students. If a student is having any issues at all, they are welcome to email me and set up an appointment. I'm happy to talk to students and do what I can to help solve problems. That's primarily my role in grad division is to help solve problems and provide resources and to be a resource for students as well as for staff and faculty. So that's kind of what I spend my time doing. So please, anyone's welcome to email me.
You think I'd know how to use Zoom by now? Thank you so much, Ruth. Marcel, I'm going to shift to you if you can talk a little bit about how you support students. You are muted as well.
All right, it doesn't work unless you can hear me. I'm hoping you can see my screen, and that you have a little PowerPoint in front of you. Awesome. So again, let me add my voice to the folks congratulating you all. I'm going to share a very quick tour of the many things that our folks do around here to support you. So the first thing is what we have a free counseling center. That's an actual photo of one of our locations. We actually have a couple different locations around campus, one in the law school as well, but we provide free short-term mental health services, things that require much longer work. We may refer you off campus, but this is a really good place to start. Our Disability Services Center, really important. If you know that you have ADHD or a mobility issue, you need note taker, you need something because you are hard of hearing or deaf, we've got so many services for you. Whether you have a permanent disability or a temporary disability, we do have, unfortunately, our fair share of scooter and bike accidents. And so if your students have those sorts of issues, please make sure that they come to DSC and ask for accommodations. We also have a fully accredited outpatient medical and dental clinic providing primary care. We do physical exams, we do immunizations, we do preventative care. So again, there's psychiatry in student health as well. And so if you are teaching, please send your students there, and this is for you as well. CARE is our office that we definitely want to make sure that you know about. So I also oversee this office, which is for survivors of sexual assault, sexual harassment, relationship abuse, and stalking. We also do lots of fun things throughout the year as well. There's all kinds of workshops around healthy relationships or healing or like aromatherapy or plants or things like that. So there's this wonderful healing program that goes along with the confidential victim and survivor services as well. Okay, campus recreation. This is a fun place to go, referred to as the Arc. We've got indoor beautiful space and also beautiful outdoor fields as well. So if you want to get on a stair stepper or we have an indoor track, and that doesn't happen most campuses, particularly out here, since it's so beautiful most of the time. But we do have an indoor track in case it's a rainy day. Fitness services, you can meet with a personal trainer. You can take all sorts of classes. So your well-being, your kind of holistic well-being is extremely important to us, and we want to see you at the ARC. The Center for Student Wellbeing and Health Promotion is kind of our health education, health promotion offices for your students or for yourself. Again, we have a dietitian there who can talk about energy drinks or about all sorts of things, what to eat, how to make a good smoothie. If you have a special diet, things that require real specialty care, she won't generally talk with you about. You need to go to student health for that. But nice general conversations about protein or about carbs. Our dietitian can help you with that. We've got someone to talk about alcohol and other drugs. So if you or your students are curious about that sort of thing, we can help you there. If you are bringing a little anteater on board, we have fantastic high quality childcare services for families of students, employees, and also community families as well. My own son was in one of our facilities about 10 years ago, and I have nothing but high praise for that. And the Office of Campus Social Work for you or for your students that you may teach. Again, if people have food insecurity, or housing insecurity, or if they're getting out of the hospital and they've missed a bunch of classes, maybe they're high risk for some reason, they're international, they need some help with those sorts of issues. Social work is kind of a relay station where we can kind of point you to the variety of places that you may need. Just a little note here about, we're not just these individual offices. We're really part of a network. We're really part of a healthy campus network. And throughout the system, we participate in system-wide health and well-being efforts. We have a comprehensive well-being initiative. We are a member of the Okanagan Charter. Please look that up. We are a health promoting university. We share data with our peers and with our UC peers. We also have had all kinds of phenomenal programming from drag shows to, programming for graduate students to programming for the LGBTQ community. And we take all of these things super seriously. And there are online mental health resources for your students. You can connect with the counseling center. I think that's my time. But the last thing that I want to say is that this is new for this year. I wanted to make sure as you come on board, you know about something called the consultation team, which is our threat assessment team or behavioral intervention team. So if there was someone who sent you a bizarre message, you're concerned about how someone is presenting in class, the content of their paper was really disturbing, you can call me or any one of the 8 people on our consultation team, and we will walk you through how to approach that situation. We will do a threat assessment for you. That is it for me. Thanks and congratulations again.
Thank you so much. I'm going to turn next to Jennifer.
I'm going to add my voice to the welcome and congratulations to everybody. And I believe I have some slides that someone will share. But as we talk about that, I want to talk about graduate and family housing and what you'll have the opportunity. We are very excited within graduate and family housing in order to, we have the most robust housing guarantee in the UC system. And what that means for you is if you are a PhD student, a law student, MFA student, you will get a housing guarantee. You are guaranteed a housing placement through the normative time of your degree. We also have an extensive housing program for waitlist students while it's not a housing guarantee. And I want to talk with you about some of the options available to you. So on campus, we have 3 on-campus housing communities that are part of our housing guarantee. Campus Village, Palo Verde, Verano Place. Among those communities and properties, floor plans and amenities vary. So we recommend to everyone to look a little bit at what may interest you or what may fit you best, but know that residents can use amenities in any of our communities. And many of our residents, as part of kind of living on campus, do use amenities in other communities. They may visit a fitness center in one community, but they're walking distance, and go to our family resource center in another community or different things. And those are open to everybody, regardless of where you live. All of our apartments are on campus are unfurnished. And what we offer is a best fit placement. What that means is if you are guaranteed housing, you are guaranteed a placement. We cannot assure you that it will be your first choice placement. We do our best to meet your needs from move-in to floor plans, but as you can imagine, a lot of students pick the same floor plans, and those aren't all available. We can't make them all available to everybody. However, you do have the option of moving after 1 year if if you move in, and a lot of students move in and realize this floor plan's great, or what I got is perfect for me. But if you wanted to move, you can move after 1 year. Next slide. Also, a part of our housing guarantee is American Campus Communities, or ACC communities. These are still on campus. They're kind of campus adjacent, but they're privately run. We do have some available for grad students. And for some of our graduate students, these are a perfect fit. They have a lot of 1 bedroom and studio apartments. They may work well for you if that's what you're looking for. There's more there than on campus. They have different policies and rules. So for example, on campus, we do allow cats as pets and different things. ACC does not allow pets. So look into different things and see what's the best fit. Do know that within our graduate and family housing communities, it is either graduate students or undergraduate students who have families or veterans that live here. Within ACC, there are a lot of traditional undergraduate students that live there, although you would be placed with another graduate student if you had a shared apartment or kind of in an area around other graduate students. But if you wanted to be around a community of graduate students, on campus would be a better fit for you. Next slide. A couple important reminders for you to think about as you're thinking about housing, and I know people always have a lot of questions. Please anticipate monthly payments of $800 to $1,200 per person if you're moving into as a single student into a shared apartment with a roommate, meaning you would share it with a roommate, although you'd have your own room, or $1,800 to $2,200 for a 2 bedroom apartment for a family unit, or $27 for a 3 bedroom. We often, and one of the most heartbreaking things is we will have students who come back and say, I didn't plan for that. That wasn't part of my budget, because they budget for our lowest cost apartment, and those may not be available at the time of move-in. Many of the, as you can imagine, they're popular, and we don't have a lot of them available. All single students will get a private room, but you will share your apartment if you're moving into kind of a 2 bedroom apartment. Most couples and families should plan on being placed in a 2 bedroom. That is the vast majority of our inventory. So if you're hoping for a 3 bedroom or 4 bedroom, we do our best, but most students end up in a 2 bedroom. Most families end up in a 2 bedroom. Our timelines are different for placement. So we get questions about when will I get an offer, depending on whether you're coming in as a housing guarantee student or as a waitlist student. Those differ a little bit, and I'll talk about that in a minute. And again, our offers are based off of available spaces. The best thing you can do for yourself is think flexibility. The more open you are to different options, the better we can meet your needs. So if you give us in your housing application, I will only take a studio apartment in this community, and you're a housing guarantee student, what that means is if we don't have that available, we're going to make the best decision we can for you, because we don't have other data to give you. The more data we have about how you rank and place things, the better we can make a fit your need. And just to be aware, if you need, as Dr. Hayashida talked about, if you need an accommodation, Disability Services Center is the place to go. And they manage all accommodations. Please reach out early, so that, including housing accommodations, whether that's for you or a family member. Next slide. A couple timelines for you just to be aware of. Our housing application is already open. It opened March 1st. If you are a housing guarantee student, most important thing for you to remember is the deadline to apply for housing, which is May 2nd at 4 p.m. in order to keep your housing guarantee. Please be aware that you need to SIR about 48 hours before that deadline. You need to SIR first in order for your housing application to show up. And so as you're thinking about when you would SIR, make sure you SIR in time in order to get your housing guarantee, which is May 2nd. If you come in as a housing guarantee, that lasts through your normative time to degree once you're placed. If you miss this window, you're not able to activate a housing guarantee at a later time. So it's important, if you want it, that you apply now. As I talked about, timelines are slightly different. If you are a graduate student coming in as a housing guarantee student, we focus in May and June making offers to students in early start programs, meaning you have a program that starts in late June or early July. And those offers go out first just because of they're based off of availability for we have currently. We will get you placed. If you have a start program in August or September, your offer will go out sometime in June and July, and we'll finalize all of our housing guarantee offers at that point. And our hope is by the end of July to have all housing guarantee students have contracts signed and your offers confirmed so you know where you're moving to. If you are a housing waitlist student, we work kind of slightly different because we need to get our guarantee students placed first. In kind of May through early July, we are placing students who would have programs that have start dates prior to August. So once we place kind of all of our guarantee students who need early starts, any availability we have left, we would go to our housing wait list and you would get those then. And then after we get all of our housing guarantee students in July, we would start using August and September to place waitlist students. The good news is we do expect to have availability for waitlist students this year. And we're hopeful to place as many students as possible. We never completely get through our list, which is why we work to move as quickly as possible so that you have some assurances. Next slide. Students always have individual questions. What about, or what does this mean? How do I do this? We have 2 housing information sessions for incoming students. These are specifically about housing where we can answer more of your individual questions. We can kind of talk through that entire process. We go through all of our communities in more detail to talk about what you would to expect from each community. The 2 remaining sessions for housing guarantee students are April 23rd at 9 a.m. And if you're a waitlist student, April 30th at 9 a.m. You're welcome to attend either of those. And next slide. We also, though, are happy to talk with you, and we have some references for you. So we have, feel free to look up all the different options on our housing website. Additionally, we encourage you to look at the rates and floor plans available for next year. So as you're building your budget, you know what to expect. And if you have specific housing questions, we're happy to answer those. Email our GFH assign, and we would be happy to answer your specific questions, whether that be about your application, about the program, about the process, and best guide you so we can get the best fit placement for you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. Next, we are going to turn to Karen.
Thank you. And I will also echo and say congratulations and welcome to UC Irvine. Slides will pop up in a moment. But I work in the Graduate and Postdoctoral Scholar Resource Center, and we like to call that the GPSRC. And we are a space that's dedicated to supporting your academic and professional success. So think of your professional success outside of the classroom. And what's really awesome about all the programs that we offer is that you get to interact with students that are not in your own school and not in your own programs. So you really get to build community by participating in our programs. And all of our programs are open to all domestic and international graduate students and postdocs. And just want to highlight that everything is free of cost. So we offer a lot of certificate programs, and these are programs that in the real world you would have to pay for, but as a grad student, you get to participate for free. And so some of our programs are the Mentor at Excellence program. We have a wonderful public speaking program called Activate to Captivate and Improv for Teaching. That's put on by Bree McWhorter, who is a UCI alum. And then we have an Emotional Intelligence Certificate program, also put on by an alum, Jenny Wu. We have our Career Foundation series and our Career Transition series as a part of our Accelerate to Industry program. And then we also have targeted mentor programs. So as an incoming student, you'll have the opportunity to join our Next Gen Pathways program. And this is a program where incoming students can opt in to be paired off with a mentor who are more advanced graduate students or postdocs. And that's a great way to start your transition here at UCI. And then also there's a Graduate International Connection program called GIC, and this is for incoming international students who would like to have a mentor as well. And then we also focus on mental health and wellness support, and like I said in the beginning, community building. And one of our favorite programs is our monthly bagel breakfast, and we have one tomorrow that I'm really excited about. It's actually the national, I think it's called Graduate Student Appreciation Week. And so we're celebrating tomorrow for our first bagel breakfast of spring quarter. This event, we see about 50 to 60 students pass through and just to hang out, eat good food, and connect with one another and just build community and not have to talk about career development, professional success, any of that, but just to eat good food and to mix and mingle with your peers. And so that's been a great program, one that we look forward to. And then we also offer a variety of wellness one-off workshops as well. Sometimes we just do crafting. Think about being childlike and play-like and coming together. And sometimes when you think about grad school, it's all academics, can be stressful, but coming to our center and participating with, like I said, students that are outside of your own program, but just doing some crafts, coloring, painting, all of those fun things we offer in our center. And then we also offer academic counseling with Dr. Fong Wong, who's a part of graduate division. And then we also have fellowship support. So for those of you that are looking to apply to the NSF or FP or Fulbright or a number of different fellowship programs, we have one-on-one counseling available to help support you in that. And we also have something that's unique to us is fellowship mentors as well. So these are folks who are successful applicants. They've received this these awards in the past, and so they're giving their insider scoop and information and helping you to review your applications and become successful as well in receiving the fellowship and grants. And then a large part of what we do is career development. And I just want to highlight that even though you're thinking, oh, I'm just coming in as a first year, it is never too early to start thinking about your career development and focusing on building your resume and what does that look like. And so just know that we're here to support you in two different tracks. So for those of you that are looking to do non-academic career development, we have our Accelerate to Industry program where this covers the certificates I mentioned in the beginning. And then some workshops, we do networking mixers, we do lunch and learns, we go to local companies and do site visits. We also host a summer immersion conference. And then for those of you that are looking for the academic career track of jobs, we have the Preparing for a Faculty Career Certificate program, and we offer teaching internships like CCCIP, just to name one of them. And then our space, we're open Monday through Thursday, 10 to 4. We are on the third floor building, and we have some great study rooms and a conference room. And so those are open for you all to participate in and take advantage of. And then we send out weekly information in our newsletter. So be on the lookout for that every Monday night. Yeah, I love everything that we do. I love working with students and can't wait to see you come the fall.
Thank you so much, Karen.
Mhm.
Okay, next we're going to move to our Chana Seth. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Archana. I also go by Archie in case you need something easy to remember. I am going to share some information with you from the International Center, but I just want to say that I'm also a proud alumni. I did my undergrad at UC Irvine, and I can't tell you that I didn't in the moment know that it was going to be one of the best decisions I made for my life. So I know you're making some big decisions and have big thoughts. So I hope this information is helpful to you. I am here in the capacity of sharing information about the UCI International Center. Our primary role is to focus and provide services to international students. So that might not apply to everybody in this space, but that being said, we do have some programs that are open to all. So I do hope that you're able to take away some information from what I'm sharing. Next slide, please. So I'm just going to give a quick overview of the types of services the International Center provides. Our primary advisement focus would be on F and J international students. So if you're planning on coming to UC Irvine on a student visa, our office will support your immigration-based needs during the time of your program and even post-program if you're going to plan to work in the US at some point. We also provide employment-based services. So if you're curious about what it's like to work on campus, what it's like to work in an internship during your program, and what types of authorizations required for that, our office supports all of the services for that too, to make sure that you have the right types of authorization to go ahead and move forward with those opportunities. We also have general resources about things like getting acclimated to driving in the US and applying for a social security number when you're eligible. I think first things first, this probably is a little bit out of order, but applying for a visa. So if you're an international student planning to attend this fall, one of the first things you're going to do after you receive documents from the campus is apply for a visa. So we have a lot of information about that on our website, which I'll talk about in a few. Um, but also as international students, we have a tax system in the US that requires everyone to file taxes, even if you're an international student. So we have services about or information about that. As well as banking, like what is banking like in the US, how to get adjusted. So we have a lot of good general resources to help you get started once you begin your time at UC Irvine. And then we have a wealth of programs that we offer as well. So we want to make sure that you feel adjusted to your life here in the US. We have immigration workshops, so just learning about general processes. We partner with campus partners for those sessions, as well as social and cultural events. I think it's really important to build a community once you come to UC Irvine, and this is a way to do that. So we hope that we can support that through the programs we offer. And then we also work very closely with our campus partners. So everybody in this space is open to connecting with one another so that we can get you the services that you need. If we need to collaborate and create a new program that would better be helpful to students of something that doesn't exist, that's what we would do with our partners. Next slide, please. All right, so if you're an international student and you're coming to UCI, one of the first things that you're going to receive after you SIR is an immigration document. For an F1 student, it's called an I-20. That's what we highlight here because that's the most common. There may also be students in this space that are going to be on a J1 visa. That immigration document is called a DS 2019. So our office would support the needs of those documents. And so in order, as I mentioned on the last slide, after you get that document is when the process for applying for a visa begins. We do have new student webinars that are available to international students to kind of talk about some of these processes as well, like what's that going to look like. Those webinars will be running, I believe, starting this spring quarter and into summer. So I encourage you to take a look at that, and I can share a link if Derek's not ahead of me in the chat. But once you plan for your travel to Irvine, you can generally enter the US about 30 days before your program begins. And then there's resources if in case you're curious. I'm realizing right now I put the wrong link for graduate student orientation, which I'm sure we'll mention. So my apologies for that, but we'll share that information. I did see some Q&As on that as well. But the International Center also offers some courses, some introductory courses like iSteps, which is basically an opportunity to have our weekly meetings to learn about campus resources. And so that could be something that you're interested in. We also offer a class called ECP, which is English Conversation Program, which is an opportunity to practice conversational English if that's something that you're looking to feel more comfortable with. And then after arrival, there is a check-in process for all international students. And so you'll be receiving reminders from our office throughout summer to make sure that process gets completed for immigration purposes. Next slide, please. All right, so for those of you who are international students, once you get your document, you also get a link to this handbook, which I think has a ton of information that's nice to flip through. It is available by PDF on our website as well. So feel free to take a look. It just talks a lot about like what is life like in Irvine, campus resources, the process to apply for a visa. And so if there's anything there that you feel like is not covered from your initial questions, we would definitely encourage you to reach out to our office. But I hope that's a good starting point for those of you who are international students. Next slide. And then this is a very brief overview of our International Center programs. But as I mentioned, we have a lot of programs that are open to both domestic and international students because it is really important to form those connections throughout your program, right? We understand that a large portion of why you're here is for your academics, but there's a full experience that comes with academics in terms of the community that you're with. So I would encourage you to take a look at that, domestic or international. Please feel free to attend if you're interested. I think that may be my last couple of slides, but if there's any questions, Don't hesitate to place them in the Q&A right now. I'm happy to answer any questions. I'll post information in the chat that I may have briefly mentioned, but I just wanted to say congratulations to all of you. It's like a big deal, and we're so happy for you.
Thank you so much. I want to thank all of our panelists for answering questions. We're answering a lot of stuff that's going through the chat right now. Um, I did see that there are some questions regarding access to student emails. Can someone answer when that kicks in? Does anyone know? Okay, we may not know that. We'll find that out for you. Of when uh I would imagine it's probably not till summer, even if you have SIR'd already. But we'll see if we can dig that up while we're talking here. Other
I
questions?
actually can answer that.
You
Sorry,
can, Derek, go for it.
I'm on the orientation team. So I can't tell you, we can try and get an exact date, but what I can tell you is I think it's around late July you should get access. At least that's how it's been in the years past, because you will start to get orientation information from us to your personal email before you get access to your UCI email address. So we will look that up for you and see if we can get a more concrete answer.
Great. Thank you, Derek. The question also came in earlier about our Next Gen Pathways program, and that is a program that will set you up with a mentor of a student that is further along in their studies. I will be sending out, or part of one of my team members will send out invitations to that typically around August. So I put the link in the chat. Please don't click on mentor mentee right now because we're not in the matching phase right now, but in August we will set those matches up. Um, so there's some questions about family housing. So, Jennifer, can you talk to a little bit about how family housing works? Does your partner have to be another UCI student? How guaranteed are you if you have a family of four to get housing?
Absolutely. So our family housing is open to anybody. We do not define what a family is. We leave that to our students too. What we do ask is either you need to sign an affidavit that you are in a committed relationship and it will need to be notarized. And both you and your partner would need to sign that. So that's one requirement, or you need to have minors who are under your care. And you would just need to verify that they are minors that you have legal custody or guardianship of in some way. So that's what qualifies you for family housing. My team is happy to talk you through what paperwork would be needed for those, but anybody is eligible as long as you meet one of those two to complete that. I did see questions about what are my chances of getting it if I'm not a guarantee student, or what are my chances of getting this? Well, some of that is going to depend on you and how flexible you're willing to be. Our family and housing wait is quite extensive, and part of the reason why it's quite extensive is once people wait for a while, they really are waiting for the perfect apartment for themselves. So sometimes they say, and we have had a couple of years where we haven't had a lot of availability for waitlist students. And so it's like, well, I've already waited a year. I have an off-campus apartment. I'll wait until I get my ideal apartment. The more floor plans you make us available, if you are a waitlist placement, meaning you are a master's student or do not have a housing guarantee, then the more we will only make you an offer for a floor plan that you tell us you're interested in. The more floor plans you're willing to accept, the more likely you are to get an offer. And what I would generally say is please contact my team, but some of this is going to depend on you and what best meets your needs. For individuals who are willing to be a little flexible and wait till the last minute, we likely would have some of those floor plans available at, particularly at the higher price range, the least popular floor plans later on in the summer. If you really want placement, and I will say housing off campus is challenging around Irvine, and it's a challenging housing market. So I would encourage you to start looking around and thinking about your options, thinking about where you want to apply. But my team can kind of talk you through that and talk you through what the wait list is looking like. As of right now, today, I just looked at it this morning. Students that applied for the wait list today have a pretty good chance, if they're willing to be flexible, of getting it. And that's probably going to look different in another week or two. So the earlier you apply as a waitlist student, the sooner you can get it. If there, I also saw a question about what if I have multiple children. We do save our apartments with larger bedrooms for families that need to house a lot of people. So please work with my team and we can work with you on that. I think I answered the main questions.
Thank you. There was a couple questions of when is the first rent due? What month is that due?
Thank you. Rent is due for your first month's rent when you get your off within 2 weeks of getting your offer or your contract. So once you sign your contract, your first month's rent is due, and your first month is due kind of when you get that contract. And then following that, once you move in, it's not due till the first after that month. Please work with my team if there's challenges about making that first month's rent, because your first month's rent is prorated based off of the number of days that you're living with us. And so we know you're moving across the country. We know that you're not getting your fellowships and financial funding until October. And so that first month can be challenging. Once you make that first payment, we can defer others. And we can also look at maybe we move you into the end of the month so you have fewer days to pay in that process.
Jennifer, is there a date when they get notified if they won't get graduate housing?
If they are a waitlist student, there is not a date that we notify because we have availability at any time. So, but again, students please reach out to us because we can tell you, well, we can't tell you exactly where you are on the wait list just because depending on options, that looks different. We can tell you approximately how many students are in front of you and what your chances might be.
And I'm assuming since their emails don't kick in until the summer, but we have the May 2nd deadline for PhD students, that they can apply for housing without having a UCI email
That
activated
is
yet.
correct. They just need to SIR within, so.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Mhm.
Archana, there's some questions about the I-20 and when those get sent out typically.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not sure if everybody saw my typed answer, but for
Okay.
those of you who are curious, it's about 2 to 3 weeks. There is a process in place as an international student. Once you SIR, your graduate department is going to reach out to you if you have indicated you're an international student to complete some paperwork. Your department does submit that to the International Center on your behalf. And then from the time that we receive all of your information, it takes about 2 to 3 weeks. During summer, as we get closer to all of the campus SIR deadlines, the timeline does get a little longer. But in general, for students who are abroad, it's about 2 to 3 weeks right now.
Great. Thank you so much.
Mhm.
I just want to say that kind of across all of our graduate degree programs, whether it's master's, professional programs, or PhDs, that we hover between 38 to 41% of our graduate population are international students. And so none of you would be alone here or feel like you are a part of a small community. It is a very, very large community of international scholars. And we look forward to having any of you that want to take advantage of the offer and UC Irvine come and be a part of this very rich fabric and community. We feel like the international perspectives add such depth to our conversations, to our research, and you are very, very welcome on this campus. Trying to see what other questions are coming up, and anyone can jump in if you have things that you've forgotten to say and would like to chime in with. So financial aid award letters. So Audra, with their offer letter for admissions, does all financial aid award letters go out at that same time, or is there a later date for financial aid?
For financial aid from the financial aid office, it may not be at the same time. So I would recommend reaching out directly to the financial aid office directly. It may depend on individual student processing time, so they probably should reach out directly.
Great. And we have a someone will send in a link to the student mental health resources page. And I just want to say that over the past few years, our mental health services and our counseling center here has really taken the initiative to grow so that at some universities, I think that you will try to get an appointment and it can take you weeks and weeks and weeks. And our counseling center has done some incredible work in building the staff so that you can get pretty quick and immediate access to the counseling services. And it is very robust services and some wonderful counselors that are there. We take mental health seriously at UC Irvine and try to offer not just through the counseling center, but as Karen was saying, through the GPSRC, the Graduate and Postdoctoral Scholar Resource Center. We do a lot of mental health services there. In the graduate division, we have our own in-house academic counselor, Fong, who will meet with students regarding a variety of issues, whether that is problems with your PI, problems handling deadlines and coursework. Um, we there's lots of people available to help you with any lift that you're encountering. Okay, I'm reading other ones here. So, job placement, I've seen some of these. So, the job placement, so I don't have all the exact details in front of me, but I are around 86% of our alumni find job placement. Around 70% of our alumni stay in California for employment. And we have a lot of industry connections. The great thing about Irvine is that it is a hub for tons and tons of different industries and kind of some corporate headquarters. And so this question was specifically about engineering. I know there's probably about like 10 really specific employers that deliberately go after our engineering students, but there is a lot of employment to be had in the area. Are we sending out this recording after the meeting? There was that question.
Yes, by the end of the week.
Fantastic. Um, so part two of this question on the engineering program, structured pipelines or partnerships. So, Karen, would you like to talk a bit about A2I?
Yes, I'd love to. So A2I is Accelerate to Industry, and this was a program that was created by NC State. And so we are an academic partner, and there are probably 40 plus academic partners across the US right now that are part of this program. And so what that means is that we actually then share some of the opportunities that are virtual. And so you're not just limited to the career programs that we put on here at UCI, but also what our academic partners are putting on. So I did see a question about for online programs, what services are available. And so anything that we do offer virtually, those programs would be available to online master's programs. And so, yeah, we built out a module-based program where you can operate as a cohort and move through the certificate programs, which are about 5 to 6 weeks in length. And then each quarter we have a mixer. And these are really great because we bring in, like Jamie said, there's so many local industries that are right around campus. And so we bring in a lot of industry leaders from those companies, but also UCI alum to come to these mixers. And it's just really low stakes of networking and chatting and sharing, being able to share your research, but learning more about their career trajectory and what opportunities available there. We do site visits, and so we have one coming up. We're going to Johnson & Johnson MedTech in the next 2 weeks and getting to do a tour of that space. And we bring in lots of folks for different panels. And we do fireside chats, lunch and learns, and resume reviews. We had someone last quarter come in and take the time to just give feedback on resumes. AbbVie is another company that just was here. They were here for 2 days and did a workshop info session. And then they also, the next day, were here and did one-on-one meetings and group sessions for students to have their questions answered and get the resumes looked at. So we have really close partnership with companies. And also, we want to hear from students. So it's really nice trying to learn what students are interested in. And then we get to go out and build those relationships with the partners and then bring them back in. And it's been really great. I've been here over 10 years and I just love building the relationships with students and seeing them move through our programs. And then what's really rewarding is when they get jobs and then they come back and be on the panel. And like I said, we have the Industry Immersion Conference. This will be our third year running that. And that's been really rewarding as well, bringing all the alumni back to sit on panels and to join the mixers. And so it's a great program. Love it. I also want to highlight some other opportunities. There's something called Parker Dewey, which is an online internship program that you would get access to as a UCI student. And that is it's more like a micro internship, so program-based opportunities, and you would be able to participate in anything that's available on there. And it's not limited to just local internships. Those could be online-based internships as well. So that's a great opportunity that we have. I could ramble on all day about what I do, so
Well, I'm
cut
going
me
to
off.
ask you another question, Karen,
Okay.
because you're so good at rambling. So, in the best ways. So one of the questions was, what are some of the resources that master's students should take advantage of right away?
All of them. It's never too early. I'm talking about myself. I got my master's in higher education leadership, and my research focused on enhancing life outside of the classroom. And the biggest takeaway was interacting with students outside of your own program, and that's where the magic really does happen. And so building community. And so coming to bagel breakfast once a month, putting yourself out there to just go to any session. So even if you have no clue what your career goal is, if you could go to one talk a month or one panel a month and sit down next to somebody that you don't know, I think that is the most beneficial thing to do, is just to build the time young, because we've been seeing students that are in their fifth year going, oh, I didn't know all these existed, or now I need help with my resume, and feeling like they don't have the time because they've conditioned themselves to believe that they don't have time in their schedule for professional development. But as a first year, if you make the time for building community and carving out time for your professional development, whether that be a resume workshop that we offer virtually, or a CV workshop that we do in person, or scheduling a one-on-one with our career advisor over at the Career Center. Um, Carving out those times as a first year will help you build that routine. So that way, when you're ready for graduation, you have all of the things that you need and you're ready to go.
Okay, here's where I want to ask. We just have a couple minutes left. So each of you can ping pong of one thing you wish graduate students knew. So I will start. I want to say, don't self-sabotage. So by that I mean don't doubt yourself. You are full of amazing capabilities. If you're running into trouble, don't give up, don't duck and hide. Reach out to the people that are around you that are here to help you succeed, and talk to your advisors. Start that line of communication, but don't self-sabotage by ducking the issue, and believe in yourself. You can do far more than you think you're capable of. Ruth, do you have something you tell them?
I would say it's okay to ask questions. Talk to other people, talk to people in your program, talk to the staff in your program office. Usually they know a lot and can be really helpful and know resources that are available and where to direct you and who to suggest you speak to. Look, please feel comfortable and feel free to ask questions of anyone. That I would absolutely encourage any question whatsoever. Please ask somebody, ask more than one person. Everybody has information and they would love to provide it for you.
Fantastic. Marcel, do you have anything?
Yeah, I think I would probably, it's similar advice, but if you're finding yourself having, stumbling a little bit or having some questions, just go ahead and ask them. go ahead and ask them early rather than waiting for them to pile up and then time has passed and you're not exactly sure what your dissertation is about. And now you've got, 3 seconds left of your fellowship or whatever. Just get your questions asked as early as possible. And same thing, flip side, if you are teaching and you're interacting with other students, if there's something that you're noticing, let us know as soon as possible. Don't sit on things because you think you're supposed to know the answer. You probably are just as clueless as many other people in your cohort, and maybe just have some bravery to be the first one to ask the question.
Fantastic. Great advice. Achana, do you have any advice?
Yeah, it's kind of similar to what everybody's saying, but one thing I want to add to asking questions is I think the university and the staff that work on campus, faculty too, that we are all very good about reaching out to one another. So if somebody doesn't know the answer, we are very supportive of one another to help a student get to the resources that they need. And it's okay sometimes if you don't know the resources you need, but you could just ask about random things, and somebody's going to be like, I think I know something about this, or I know someone who knows something about this. So it's okay if you're not able to get to the right resource. Just start with any resource on campus that you're familiar with, and we'll slowly get you to the right spot. So I would say keep that in mind as you start your journeys at UC Irvine, hopefully.
Karen, do you have anything?
Yes, to the students that are here, I always say be sure to read your GPSRC weekly email every Monday night because often they say, "Oh, I didn't know about that." So
Yeah.
I'm like, "Wait, it's in your email." But I would also say use your student status as much as you can and take advantage of it. Take advantage of all of the opportunities that you're given as a student. But there's something that breaks down the walls when you want to network with somebody, cold LinkedIn message someone and say, I'm a student at UC Irvine. I'd love to grab coffee and learn about your, position. Or you just be curious and use your student status. That's what I'd say. Take advantage of all the services at UC Irvine and in graduate division.
Jennifer, I forget, did you give your piece of advice yet?
I did not. I would say you belong here. And there are so many ways to find connections with others, and whichever way fits for you, do that. But just challenge yourself to get out, and whether that be a connection through some of our different centers, or through housing, or through your cohort, whatever that is, know that there's ways, and just kind of reach out because you do belong here.
Absolutely. I couldn't say it better myself. You absolutely belong here, and we're here to welcome you and to help you with your journey. We are at time, so I want to thank you all so much for being here. I want to remind you that over the next couple of days, there are some, I don't have them in front of me, someone will have to tell me that I believe tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific time, there is a student panel. Is that right, Mariella?
8 a.m.
8 a.m.
Yes.
And then there's also one Thursday at 3.
Three. Correct.
Okay, and those are graduate students, so you can hear directly from them about their experience and ask any questions. Um, I was getting a lot of questions about job placement rates post graduation. Your best option is going to be to go directly to the department's websites because they'll post that information on those websites, and that's where you can find a lot of it. But again, congratulations to every single one of you for getting admitted to UCI. We hope you choose us if you haven't already. And we look forward to seeing you in the fall. And please take care of yourselves. Thank you so much.